So a friend of mine sent me Ariana Merchant's latest video. I'm gonna link her account in the comments. Go check out her latest video. It's what I'm referencing here. So in that video, she's responding to someone saying that next Super Bowl halftime show should be Indians, and her response was absolutely not, and I agree. So what she goes on to say is this: she says the reason we don't deserve a Super Bowl is because no one likes us. And yes, we know about the white supremacists. That's the obvious one. But she says there's an organic dislike of us from other minority communities. And she is right. And what she goes on to say is that's because our brand is greed, self centeredness, and bigotry. All right? All of this is true. So she goes further on to give a couple of examples. And she gives an example of BLM. And that's where my story starts. So, BLM movement's going on, right? Everybody's trying to be all, we support BLM. So my community starts a Facebook page. I don't know what it was called. It was, I think, Carolites for BLM or Malayalis for BLM. I'm not sure. So I'm like, my naive self was like, oh, this is cool. So, I go on there. I'm like, hey, so I make a post. I said, hey, it's amazing you guys are doing this. This is really good. I think one of the first things we can do is we can have conversations about the bigotry in our community towards black people. I think that's the first step. So, nothing too controversial. Seems a pretty normal post. So I don't think much of it. I go about my way. Come back later and that post has been removed. So I forgot what the reason they said it was removed, but whatever. So I reached out to the admins. I was like, hey, how come you removed that post? And their response, and it's some version of the following, so I kid you not, was basically, we don't believe now is the appropriate time to have that conversation. So their stance was the Black Lives Matter movement wasn't the time to have a conversation of why Black Lives Matter in our communities. Right? So at that point, I'm like, all right, this is just performative bullshit. So no, we don't deserve a Super Bowl. And further, I get really annoyed when our community basically is bigoted towards black Americans. You giant goofballs. You understand that all this money we've made, all these accomplishments we have, all these powerful positions we hold, none of that would be possible without the blood and lives of black Americans, right? It's because of them we have these rights. You giant... Listen, y'all need to look up the history of Indians in this country. We weren't even allowed here for a while. So